All right, Matt's here. Car is coming out. We're turning it into a Jeep. Mike wants the doors, and it's the least I can do for letting me store this car here for I don't know how long. So we're taking the doors off. The car will be riding Jeep mode to the shop, and we're tearing it down from there. All right, S4 in the shop. Cannot believe it. Dude, look at how sick it looks with no doors. We should have driven it around like, if the steering rack worked, 100% would have driven it like this.
Yeah, we would have modeled the micro.
Maybe we should take the doors off the Allroad when it's done. Matt, tell the people that you gotta intro the video.
So, we're gonna rebuild this S4.
Oh, we're getting a copyright strike now. Cut! All right, do it, take two.
What's up? I'm Eli. We're gonna rebuild this S4. We're gonna take its soul and put it into a really cool Allroad. And we're gonna rebirth this car and give it a new home. In a chassis we should have gotten from the factory.
All right, now that we've gotten that out of the way, I'm Eli. Welcome back to IgnitionTube. Today,
No.
What? We're not doing that?
You're not Eli.
I'm Matt. Welcome back to IgnitionTube. Today, we're obviously working on the donor car. If you guys don't know, I have a 2013 Audi Allroad. This is 2015 Audi S4 that I bought off of Copart. You can go back and watch a video on that. It's very in-depth. It got totaled for subframe damage. What to expect in this video? The S4 is gonna leave at the end of this video. So we have a couple other boys coming tomorrow. Motors coming out, transmissions coming out, subframes are coming out, and this thing is leaving on dollies, never to be seen again. It's Friday night. Matt's leaving basically Saturday night. So we have a day to get the rest of this out, which we think is doable, but
100%.
you never know.
100%.
Let's jump into it.
Coming down.
Yeah, it does want to go forward now.
Alright, what's the count?
Down.
Drop it low, girl.
Coming down.
We'll go faster. We're good. Nah. Hold that in, bro. Now, a lot of you know that we've already pulled the seats out of the S4 and installed them in the Allroad, and unfortunately, we don't have the door cards to match. We're still running the wood trim and the leather inserts, but we're gonna change that today. Because one of the things that Matt and I pulled out was the carbon trim and the Alcantara door cards from the donor car. And an essential part of that door card process is actually made possible by today's video sponsor, Temu. Now, a regular ad read would be boring, so I'm gonna switch these door cards while I tell you guys about Temu. Now, if you live under a rock and don't know what Temu is, well, you're in for a treat. Because what they are is an online seller of pretty much everything. You name it, it's on the website. They're known for their site-wide sales of up to 90% off, as well as free shipping and free returns up to 90 days after your order. Those trim tools that I was just using, this whole set I got off of Temu. And honestly, it's come in pretty clutch as we've taken apart the S4. So I decided I would take the door cutter apart with only tools from Temu. Now I could have it easy and use this 46-piece toolkit that I also got from them. But let's take it a step further. I have this toolkit from Temu, which I thought would be really nifty to keep in the glove box. It's one of my favorite pocket ratchets. Plus, it has all these bits inside of it. Come on, like that. And if you want to explore what Temu has for you, which man, I cannot describe to you how much fun I had shopping for the products for this video, you can use code DKT3359 for a $100 coupon bundle. Make sure to check them out. The link is in the description. Let's get back to the video.
There you go.
Nice.
So why are you removing that? Was it just because?
Because we need to put that in the Allroad event.
Okay, so hang on. Can you film me for a second?
Yeah.
The reason I'm removing this is because Matt won't let me not have a drive select button in the Allroad. We don't need to swap any of this, but he wants to wire in this button so I can change my drive select. So because Matt is a perfectionist, We're literally, the only reason we're doing this is for this button that says drive select. And then he has to wire it. It's not just a button, it has to be wired too. I said okay, whatever he wants to do, man.
It's the right thing to do, Eli.
We got pedals. We got rear subframe with a sport diff on it. We have the lock carrier. We have the motor. I already took the cats and the downpipes off, because we're gonna run test pipes. I mean EPA, we're gonna run factory emissions. And then you have the car right here, which Alex tore down by himself.
Yep. You're welcome.
Look at that. I mean, you can see, if we go down here, you can see right through to the back of the car. There's nothing in there, so all we have left to do is take the wiring harness out, which is this. I just got it all unhooked from the trunk. So that's all the trunk stuff. If you come around to the back, there's literally nothing in here. I mean, this side's empty. That side's empty, minus the tool. Need that. You guys might be wondering what you have to take out in order to swap into an Avant. Well, the answer is, if you're crazy like Matt, literally everything out of the car. We'll talk about this a little bit later in the video, and I have some time lapses for you, but conceptually, if you were to say an S4 Avant swap in like 20 seconds, what would you say is like the basics? Basically, we take the motor and trans out. I asked you. You talk.
Yeah, so basically, the key points are here: engine and transmission, and if you're lucky to have a sport diff, you swap in the sport diff. If you want to keep your car automatic and swap in a DSG transmission, as much teardown as we've done here is not so much necessary. We're tearing it down to be thorough and do proper wiring for a manual transmission to convert Eli's Allroad to be a 6-speed.
Just to be clear, if it was my say, we probably wouldn't do the proper wiring, but Matt is in charge. Matt's the foreman. He said we have to run the new clutch wire all the way to the back.
In order to be part of this project, we had to do it properly.
Basics of an Avant swap. Obviously, motor and transmission, direct bolt-in because it's a B8 and it's all Legos.
Exactly.
Modules from the car, you have to take pretty much every module out and put it into the Avant, right? So that the car thinks it's an S4?
Yeah, well, yes and no. So there are a few core modules in the car. You've got your BCM1, your central electric module, BCM2 in the trunk, that's your body control module. You've got your speedometer cluster that has immobilizer data in it that matches your ECM and your keys. And those are the core modules you want to pull out of your donor car into your, either your Avant or your Allroad to keep things talking nice to each other. Beyond that, if you're trying to do things on a budget and you don't have specialty tools, you want to swap things like your radio module or your airbag module, otherwise you're going to run into component protection.
So if someone was to buy a motor and a transmission, they would not have a good time?
They would not have a good time because you would need to know somebody who can immobilize or defeat the ECU, which is a liability for
whoever does it. Yeah,
exactly. And again, it certainly can be done without a donor car, but you start adding things up, like you talk about $3,500 for a 3-liter engine, $2,000 transmission.
Right, that's more than the price of this car by a lot.
A good donor car is $5,000–6,000 these days at Copart auction, and maybe add on a little bit more if you need to involve a broker or if you want maybe a lower mileage car, this and that. But you're paying up front to save you a lot of headache down the road instead of mixing and matching parts. And you're going to get your motor in, try to start it, the immobilizer is going to kick in, and then it's not going to run, and then you're going to go down a massive rabbit hole of trying to get the car to run.
Right.
And it's
when
just
you could have
not
just
worth
done the whole car as one.
Exactly.
And the biggest thing, Matt, obviously we're not telling you how to do a swap. We'll throw in bits and pieces here. If you want Matt to do a swap for you, he'll do it for, we'll call it $5,000 at the time of the video. The price may go up depending on if he gets 10 people saying, hey, I want the swap right now.
Sure.
But highly recommend involving someone who knows what they're doing, like Matt, because if you're like me, I would have just swapped the motor and trans, you would have been in trouble. One of the biggest tips that Matt gave me was, if you're shopping for a donor, it needs to have similar, if not the same options as the swap car. So that way, like you just talked about modules for 30 seconds, if you don't have the modules to communicate with each other, like if you have a Bang & Olufsen in the car and the swap car doesn't have that, you're gonna have a bad time. So that's our tips and tricks for today. If you want Matt to do your whole swap, hit him up. He's on Instagram. And let's get this wiring harness out of the car. What do you say?
I think that's a good spot.
That's the entire wiring harness in a pile. All right, well that is quite literally a wrap. See what I did there? Nice one.
Dad jokes.
Dad jokes. We got the entire car over here. Matt, thank you. Oh, you're behind the pole. Thank you. Matt noted that this was a running car. Yes, like we started this car yesterday, and today it's
a little over 24 hours ago.
Yeah. So we did well. We did really well. Thank you. Make sure to follow Matt on Instagram. You're gonna see more of him when we bring the Allroad in here and start the project. But for now, the S4 is going to the scrapyard. See ya, gone. And the S4 Heart is going to the Allroad. I'm excited. Thank you guys for watching. Go out there, spread some positivity, and we, this guy right here, that guy, and me, Eli, we'll catch you in the next video.